First, design and dessert, decorating presentation, and what we hope it is a chance for you to talk to each other, which you've already been doing, and for me to talk about some of the trends that you may already know about if you read Shelter magazines and so forth. But at House of Oak, we offer a lot of different services. And Kelsey, you want to go to the next screen? Kelsey's my assistant today. Here for Kelsey. And we serve as design professionals. Some of you have used us in your homes already. We obviously sell furniture, we sell bedding, we sell rugs, we do window treatments. You'll see some of the window treatments in this area, but we sell about 15 different kinds of window treatments, which we also install. And then we have, in our design professional service, we help with paint color selection, surface selection, whether it be floors, countertops, and so forth, furniture placement and selection. What's the proper, one of the big questions we are often asked is, can I put a larger sofa in this area, or could I get rid of this large sofa and replace it with love seat, and what are the implications of that? You'll often see designers using love seats because it makes the room feel more spacious, but you can't lie down on a love seat. So we just ask those questions before you make that decision. Color and shape scheme. Recently, when I was driving down 81 after a snowstorm, I realized how much we usually don't see shape. But when everything was covered with white, all of a sudden you could see the stark difference between man-made straight edges, whether it was a column. It was one of those snowstorms where, a little bit of snow stuck to everything. So you could see all the different lines of man-made items and of nature. And I realized that in decorating a room, how important it is to either mix those up or to use, if you wanted a more geometric contemporary form, you would use straight lines. So what we see right here is we have a very contemporarily styled coffee table. It is in a rustic finish, which sort of blends the whole idea, gives you that eclectic look. But behind it are two rather traditional chairs, very round, and the shape is very significant. I don't think it goes well together, but they just ended up there, as things often do in our store, because somebody moved something and they stayed where they were. Now the style of the table looks good with the sofa, but the wood's not in the right color family. So I wouldn't necessarily put those things together. And of course, let me just say that everything that I say as a design professional is an opinion. And I really appreciate, as we talk here, you can interrupt me at any time you want and say, why wouldn't you do this? When I sit here, I just noticed right now, for the first time, that these flowers and these flowers are playing off of Bonnie's shoes. And of course, she has her toenails and her top coordinated with those, but that's just jumping over here. And then it's coming over here on Eileen's purse and on her dress. And to me, my eyes are doing that all the time. And so if you go to the next screen, this is our new logo for Design and Dessert. And of course, what we tried to capture in this, and Appeal Productions. And this is Andy, who owns Appeal Productions, with his associates, Andy Van Hook. And I've been working with them on our media for the last, how long, 15 years? And do a great job. So basically, I came up with this idea that I wanted to use a butterfly and a cupcake. And that's all I told them, because I thought the butterfly, the thousands of forms of butterflies that we see around the world, combined with the beauty of a cupcake, and of course what it does to our imagination. So this whole thing about interior design is, what does it do to our imagination? We're probably the only species that has this complex imagination, and we can imagine taste. I mean, when I first saw that, it was right away like, I want to eat it, but there was no cupcake. It's just a picture. And this is what we're doing in our homes all the time. We're creating an image that reminds people of something else. We're going to talk about some design concepts in a minute. Go to the next screen. So at this session, or in these lost my place. In these design and dessert sessions, these are the things that we hope to do. We hope to assist you in giving your home the personal touch that makes it a reflection of who you are. I just think this is so important that when people come in your home, there's things, I've gone into people's homes where they're just like a blank slate. It could be anybody's home. And of course I've gone in homes sort of, mine's one of those where there's so much stuff around that it can only be Merle's house because, there's remnants of Merle on every corner, on every table. Learning to be in love with your interior space. You're going to hear a couple quotes that I'm going to have here later that I very much equate the relationship that you have with your home to the love relationship between two people. And when you return to your home, you have the same feeling of comfort and wonder and, that connectivity that you feel when you're on vacation or when you're away from somebody you love and you get back together. And it's just that knowing each other. It's just that you put things in your home that know your spirit and you know it. Whether it's the books you read, the flowers you have on the coffee table, or whatever it is, something your parents gave you, your grandmother's keepsake. We're also going to learn about home fashion trends, help you create a home project. Most of you probably have something you want to do in the next 5 years, and we believe in 5-year plans, but there might be some improvement you want to do. We will have coupons for special offer. The coupon today is you get 25% off of any one item in the store. Now our usual sales are 10%. So you can buy a lamp, you can buy this table, you can buy this rug, you can buy this whole room setting if you like, or you could buy some window treatments. And so that'll be good for 30 days. And because you registered on the list, you are qualified for that. It is not applicable to any previous purchase.
How about for something that's not in the store?
Yes, it can be a special order. Group discussion on personal projects. If all we do here is me just talk, it's not nearly as good as if I can get you talking to each other. And like I said, I heard that happening before. Classroom project, similar to what we talked about before, but this would just be an exercise we'll do here. And then finally, relax and dessert. Because in our home, we do create a space to relax in. We create a space to eat in. We spend most working people spend the most time in their home, in their bedroom, sleeping. It's very important what kind of an atmosphere you create there to reduce your stress. If we go to the next screen. So this is one of the quotes that I saw this week, and it reminded me of the work I do in people's homes, and it goes back to that love relationship. Solitude in the sense of being often alone is essential to any depth of meditation or of character. And solitude in the presence of natural beauty and grandeur is the cradle of thoughts and aspirations, which are not only good for the individual, but which society could ill do without. Now, it's talking about natural beauty, and of course I'm jumping and saying that the beauty we create in our home has the same effect. Of course you like to entertain in your home and you want other people to enjoy that beauty too. But I really believe that when you set out to decorate, many of you have heard people say, where do I start? I have to do this whole room, where do I start? And now I say you have to fall in love with something. Yeah, whether it's a rug, whether, I did a home where the couple had one of Van Gogh's, just a reproduction of one of his paintings of the sunflower with the brilliant cobalt blue, and they used that as their focal point for the entire home. Every room that they did, every paint color, they went back to that, and that's a really good process because the home then does feel like it has a continuity, and it flows from, you often hear that flows from room to room. Now, on the other hand, many of you have heard me say, as one thing we do with decorating that our parents didn't do, was we have fun with it. We're permitted to, just do whimsical things like this rug. This would have made our grandmothers probably run the other way. But so make sure that you can also have fun in your home. And then let's go on to the next page. And today we're having pastries from the New Leaf Pastry Kitchen, which is a new bakery downtown. It was the owner is a pastry chef previously with Joshua Wilton House, and now has his own shop. It's in Hardesty Higgins' house. And I was a baker for 10 years. Some of you know that. So I really like to honor new businesses, and I like to honor bakeries, and I love sweets. And we'll have coffee with that too. All right. Now we're going to talk about some design concepts that are popular right now. And the first one is bold strokes. And would you bring me the first stack of fabrics, Kelsey? And the title of it is Overscaled Organic Designs with a Tie-Dyed, and you want to just lay them out on the edge like this. That would be very helpful, just in a row, so they can see a little bit of the front edge of it. She says, well, this is awful messy space to be doing that. I tend to work in a lot of mess. Okay, so you can see here, overscaled organic designs with tie-dyed or painterly effect have made recent appearances on runways across the globe. Interpreted into the world of home decor, these watercolor styles can range from contemporary to hippie. Yeah? Only they'd have to be torn a little to be perfect hippie. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay these stacks, before we go to the next one, out here on this table. And at some point, if we have time, I'm going to let you pick a stack and walk over to our rug rack and choose a rug that you might think would go with that group. Okay, and then next we're going to move on to the fade out. Very different look. Whoever said looking old was a bad thing? Oh, these are some, I'm sorry, those were some pictures that went with the first group. Okay. Fade out is a much, well, you'll see from the fabrics. Whoever said looking old was a bad thing, whether it's achieved through the natural passage of time or the artful use of antiquing effects and ombre shading, this trend brings a rich patina into a myriad of traditional and transitional environments. A very, I don't know, I hesitate using this word because it sort of implies something else for the other groups, but I'd have to say it's a very sophisticated look. Somebody who is willing to play with these subtleties of pattern and color. And again, anybody who's worked with me in the last 90 days will know that, or the last 6 months, that we hear all the time about how much the color gray is in. But not only is the color gray itself in, but grayed out versions of purple, grayed out versions of blue, grayed out greens, grayed out copper tones. And so you have, compared to the rug over there, a very traditional rug with the wide border on, where the colors are distinct. And almost compared to this, they're like in your face. They're almost, they're calling too much attention to themselves. And here something else is happening. This would permit you to see the shape a lot more in the room. And so we'll gather those up, and we're going to move on, or let's look at some pictures. You want to go through the pictures that we have with...
What color would the walls be for that?
Oh, wow, that's a good question.
Would you use color, or would you use the new...
Well, here's the thing. In my mind, I wish we each had a color selector. Well, we do, okay? Now, these are classic colors, and over here, these are progressive, and so you'll see blue. So I think it's going to be in the progressive book. You tell me what color you'd like to put with that room, or what your suggestion is. And I don't know if you'd like to be closer, because we could pull these two chairs in closer. Would you like that? To be just a little closer to see the fabrics? I think I would if I were you, so we're going to pretend. So what I was starting to say is, I believe you could use any color in here for the wall color. I believe you could use a wall color. First of all, we'd have to decide what the sofa was. If the sofa were this, I would want to add some contrast to it. And I often do, I often just hold the palette right up here. So right away I see these working very nicely, okay? And then if you come over to this one, well, another thing is let's just say you were putting this with this. And then you could use this taupe wall here.
Wall coat.
Yeah. Thank you. I can't read that. Or even the next one, even that sort of bamboo shoot. Or this very nice, milkweed. Who said milkweed? Good choice. I think that's very provocative and very modern looking. So anyway, the whole idea, you get the idea how different that is from bold strokes that we just looked at. Just such a different feeling. And only you can say, and this is one thing that I really respect, is only you can say what you love. Many designers have made the mistake to push down the throat of their client the look they love. Somebody who loves Mediterranean, just like it beats in their heart like, nothing else. It's a love, it's a passion. And so they believe you need to be a Mediterranean. And that doesn't always work. That gets people in trouble. So I always say, you have to tell me. I can say these things go together. I can tell you that this would look fine in this room with this rug. But you can see it's a stretch. This color isn't in the rug exactly, it's a little stretch. But I find when you stretch the color coordination, rather than having a throw that would be exactly any of these yarn colors, it's a little more mysterious. It's a little more interesting. Okay, were there any more in this group, Kelsey? Okay, we're ready for Coastal Mod. And Coastal Mod is neutral linens. Oh yeah, that's my job, wasn't it? It's much easier if you have something to look at rather than just hear me talking. Was that only the second one we did? Okay. All right, so Coastal Mod, natural linens and warm woods are a modern match with shades inspired by sand and sea. Going coastal takes on contemporary flair when classic maritime motifs are pared down to simple organic shapes and hand-drawn patterns. The coral is big right now. In one of our rug books, they have like 8 different colors of this kind of a design. And of course, it's really difficult for a designer to beat the power of a shape that occurs in nature. And here, just by putting it in different colors than what you would see under the sea. But I mean, I did a marine biology session, and I know that coral, live coral, and especially those fan corals that sort of move with the currents, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. And to think that they just grow organically. This is another rug that we're using to cover an extension cord that has those organic shapes in it, sort of stylized, but again goes back to the one we were just in, the faded out, where everything's grayed out. So not only grayed colors, the color gray, but also grayed images. So you have impressionistic images, but yet it's an unmistakable branch with a bud on it. And what pictures do we have to go with that? Coral, why not? In orange. I never saw any of that on my marine biology. Go on to the next. Ooh, beautiful. And is there another one? Yeah. So very pastel-y, but again, the wonderful geometric patterns that we have here. I love the shape of this pattern with the serpentine shape on the front of the, obviously wasn't a nightstand, but a repurposed, probably, it might have been a chest, but it could have been a dining room piece as well. Do we have any more on that, Kelsey? Okay, we're ready for tidal pool. So it's interesting that in itself, that in these 10 design concepts we're looking at, that 2 of them relate to the sea and the ocean. Thank you, Anne, for joining us. You're in the back row. I should have had everybody introduce themselves. Why don't we do that right now? Let's just say where you're from and why you're here. Darlene.
I'm Darlene, and I'm here because my sister invited me.
Okay, you came with your sister. And Eileen?
I'm here because my daughter had her family room redone.
Oh, wow, family
I had my
connections.
living room redone.
Yes, yes, we're working on Eileen's living room right now.
Anita from Fishersville, and I just purchased some furniture this morning, and so we stayed for the design.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And Anne, what brings you out?
I'm here because I buy all my furniture from House of Open Books.
Oh, well, thank you, thank you. And Bonnie?
And I'm Bonnie from Dayton, and I have done 2 houses with Earl.
And you know, when the great story about Bonnie is Bonnie was a school teacher for how many years?
43.
43 years, a really great school teacher. She went beyond the call of duty. Some of the projects she did with students were unbelievable. She had a passion for it. She had a love for it, like, you know, I'm sure all of you do with your careers. But she lived in a traditional home out by Hinton, beyond Hinton. And when I first met her, she said, I'm tired of tradition. And it was like, so am I, you know, aren't we all, you know, because again, it goes back to, you know, what we're permitted to do with our homes that our parents couldn't do. Anyway, we started out by doing a contemporary window treatment for her long picture window in
It's
the
actually a window wall that went
it was
around
a
the
window
corner.
wall with a corner. So we made a cornice and we used reds and blacks. It was absolutely stunning. But anyway, went on to another room and window treatments and so on. And then one day she came in and she said, I'm building a new house. I thought, oh, great, and you're here to see me. So anyway, the new home was furnished all in contemporary, and it was just so much fun
And
to
it was
see.
a wonderful project. with
It was so much fun primarily to see somebody have the nerve to say, I want something different and I'm going to do it. I've wanted this for so long and I'm going to do it. I love it so much. I want to change. There's nothing wrong with staying the same. There's nothing wrong with tradition. But you see that more often. So the freshness of seeing somebody willing to make that big change was really exciting. All right, so in Tidal Pool now you get a much different feel than where we just were. And Tidal Pool brings us sort of, well, think of a tidal pool. What do you think of? You think of sort of the exotic, you think of mystery, secret, passion, and I think you would see that here in the deeper, more intense colors, going more into the teals. And now here we have a pretty monochromatic color scheme, but we have this strong gold in here, so if you ask that question about what color paint, and you can look on there and see, do you find a color paint? You can tell me if you see a color paint you'd just love to see with that in this progressive color book. Give that to Ann back there. Anybody have a good suggestion?
We can introduce these people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, I wanted everybody to introduce.
I'm Sally. I'm from Dayton also.
Okay, Sally.
We are doing a remodel and interested particularly in looking at some window treatments.
Excellent. And this is Phil. Okay, great. I do notice here while we're talking that we could probably use this rug with this, and think of how different that would be to put that loud rug with it compared to, you could use a rug like this, or you could use a rug with these little pebbles in, and again, a natural form of nature but done in blue. Anybody have a color they would like to put with this group?
Banana smoothie.
The banana what?
Smoothie.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, that would complement almost everyone on here. Okay. And the furniture we have with the tidal pool, we have this wonderful room setting with 2 barrel back wing chairs facing the tiled fireplace. The next one, interesting play here of geometrics in the coffee table and in the draperies. The coral, sort of stylized tree, you could go either way there. And then we have very much a coastal feel with the rattan fluted grooved rattan with a cool marine colors. You notice these are cooler colors in both of these last palettes. Cooler colors, you know, hot days of summer, they really make you think cool more than if you did this room in red or you had reds around you. Is there another one there, Kelsey? Okay, yeah, and then just looking out on the water and letting that water be the blue water being the strong dominant color in the room and keeping the room neutral, just a little bit of blue in the paneled curtains. Any more? Okay, on to Sunset Serenade. So we're going to go to hot. We're going to go to the southwest. And we have a totally different feel. In nature, the varied shades of twilight dance, a line between warm oranges and deep pinks, a fresh new trend in the world of home fashion accessories in this unexpected color combination create an energetic counterpoint to a room filled with subtle naturals. The pinks and the oranges in combination, as you see here in this ACOT, and you see here in this more sort of Mid-Eastern design, very popular right now. And of course, that's why I used them in our logo for design and dessert. Again, you see the play of, often you've heard me say the perfect combination of patterns is a solid, a geometric, and either of these could play as an all-over pattern. Very interesting, just like we dress with a solid suit, pinstripe shirt, paisley tie, or paisley scarf. And whenever you do that, so this room setting here with the 2 leather sofas, the all-over pattern on the floor, it could use a geometric very nicely. And when you do that, you get away with a lot of variety that you wouldn't get if you had another geometric or if you had 2 overall patterns. Now, I'd be happy to use both of these all-over patterns in the same room. One might be on a pillow, one might be across the room, or what I often like to do is, let's just say this is the family room, and over here next to it is the eat-in kitchen or dining room, and cover the seats on your chairs with that. Of course, you see, if you'd want to always be clean when you sit down on them, but sometimes we don't think of that when we start out. Okay, what do we have for furniture to go with that? Okay, we have a nice country lodge looking setting mixed with some rather formal chairs, a really nice blend of a lot of geometrics though in here. Let's look here at the ottomans. And also, another part of this geometric is look how much of the geometry here is in the architecture and the window treatments, the lines of the window treatments, the cross hatching of the windows, but then also the geometric in the back of the wing chairs with the throw that's thrown over it, and on the chairs at the dining group. Next one. Here we have an interesting use of natural form, the zebra form. The leopard on the sofa, but again the reds and oranges coming together. And next, wow, jump into contemporary with a very abstract or impressionistic rug, and then a very linear sectional contemporary with a great contemporary painting. And do we have another one? Yes. Another contemporary with very contemporary furniture, curved out a sectional that has the space for a perfect circle coffee table, and then 3 panels of art that sets it off. Any more? Okay, amber waves. We're on to the next group. Moving into the amber waves of grain, which immediately evokes images of nature, Midwest, bounty, sunlight, golds and caramels together. Here it's done with a faux leather, vinyl, very durable. Polyurethane, well actually it has some leather content. Some of the combinations you'll see now is leather, crumb leather glued to the back of a poly. So what it gives is the heft of leather. So if they didn't put that on the back, it would just feel like a plastic bag. And then poly on the front, so it's, you know, very durable. Here you have a very interesting, almost comes out of that, well, it is a faux leather, but it has so much added texture to it. Almost has like a honeycomb beehive look to it. And then another attractive ACOT design with the grays in it and the oranges and the golds that would certainly go along with the amber. And what do we have for furniture on that, Kelsey? Wow. Almost have the pattern we had in the last group on the pillows there, but a nice combinations of ochres and ambers and oranges, popping it up a little with more of a butterscotch color on the wall and a goldenrod color in the pictures. Next, golds and reds, dominant contrast in the sofa, gives it a lot of fun. If you had all the pillows in the sofa in one color, it wouldn't have as much fun whimsy to it. And the next one, just a room setting, a still life, bringing sunflowers and peaches or apricots into it. Another one, more subtle, gives very different from the whimsical feeling. Great bedroom feel to me. Bedroom should be peaceful. You don't need a lot of energy going on in them. Go on. Of course, that depends what kind of, you know. I want my bedroom to be peaceful. That's an opinion. We'll move on to lime twist. By the time I get there, I just want total peace at the end of the day. It's all an opinion. Now lime twist, lime, of course, you know that color is very strong in the marketplace. There's a few places I love to go to see colors, and I'm not here primarily to advertise competitors, but Pier 1 does a wonderful job of bringing the current trend colors into their shop. They spend a lot of time. I can't imagine, because of course they're a chain store, and I don't know, they probably have 1,000 stores, but somebody somewhere is sitting in a corporate office saying, this is how all of our stores, right now they're saying, this is how all our stores are going to look at Christmas. Lay it all out on a blueprint, make it so easy, order it all, and then send it to the stores, and they say, this is the way your store is going to look on, you know, whatever, October 31st. But they do a great job of it. And so here, I didn't read that. On the lime twist, the citrus shade of green warms any space up with a bit of tropical flair. Though typically a bright and bold option, this versatile shade can appear more subtle and sophisticated when used in small doses or in softer textures. So certainly softer textures we see over here. And then over here we get with, again, we're going with our geometric with the solids. Big all over pattern. The ACOTs are very popular, so you see it again. And then a big geometric. What do we have for furniture here? Oh wow, so we got lime with a wicker and a nice traditional pattern on the pillow in front of the solid. Again, the zebra print comes back, dramatic. Wow, what a hot room. Reminds me of a rooftop nightclub I went to in Chicago when I was there this spring, and I didn't realize it when I was there. I can't remember the name of it, but somebody, one of the friends I went with, my sister actually sent me an email and said it was rated one of the top 3 rooftop clubs in the world. But it was one that had a retracting roof opened up and so forth. But they had this kind of look. It was just like pop, and then one end of it was totally a full screen that was actually live images from the streets of Chicago. And so you know, in that kind of or in your party room or in your family room, you can get away, and I can understand that kind of energy. Now another thing while we're on that, I believe in homes that have, what our homes have now, from 8 to 12 rooms, I believe you should have a room that's yours. A room that you can retreat. It's your retreat. more than any other space in the house, if there are other people visiting, if there are other family members in the house, that you can go to your retreat. You have special little things there. Some people have what they call an altar, but the room is your favorite space to retreat to.
I don't understand that sofa, the stool or whatever that thing in front of the sofa.
The ottoman,
Yeah, it seems out of place.
you mean the color? It is a stretch. Now, we are dealing with photography here, and I think probably if the designer could have found a color that was closer to the pots flanking the fireplace, they were trying to get there. I see why you asked the question. It also is interesting to put that much pattern right on top of another pattern. So the pattern in that is very strong on top of the zebra. It's possible that it was a piece that the customer owned and had reupholstered 2 years ago. There's all kinds of things you can imagine. Is there another picture in this group, Kelsey? Oh, wow. So certainly bringing the sun in it with the stylized mirror print. I guess it's a print. Again, we have the all-over pattern on the chairs, geometric in the coffee table with the key grid work, stripes in the pillows, the squares of the two matching frames, another geometric. It's a really, and then the tile pattern of the area rug.
Looks like they mixed a lot of metals in that, the colors.
Yes, they did. Good point. Can you mix colors of metal? It's like they used to say, can you mix colors of stain and wood in a room? And that coffee table and end table group right behind us shows, yes, you can even do it in the same piece of furniture. So yes, here again, what was it driven by? Now I think this is painted, but we have this, we have the brass and the lamps, and then we have sort of a platinum silver on the frames. Does it work for you, Bonnie?
Yeah.
Yep, I think so. Any other pictures here? Okay, we're on to Spice Market. Another very popular look, sort of the Far East, Marco Polo type feel. Spices always evoke a lot of colors, reds and golds and cinnamons. And here the purple added to it. I think this is, I think we're going to wrap it up with this group. I had a couple more, but there's always next month. The first Saturday in August. Hope to see you all again. I actually just sold this sofa this week. It's going to go out into a home in Rockingham County and across the living room and into the next dining room. It's a primitive styled home, beautiful home. I wish I had a picture ready to show you, but this color was dominant in a tapestry that's hanging above the dining room table, which is black and cinnamon colored wood. The table has black base and cinnamon colored wood. So wanted to bring this color across the room, 30 feet away across 2 rooms, and did the sofa and this in sort of a bay window area, 2-piece conversation sofa. And so that's why this fabric's here, because it's in my mind right now. But in the Spice Market, we have home fabric fashion takes an exotic turn with rich tones inspired by the kitchen spice rack. Warm shades of saffron, turmeric, and cinnamon are perfect companions to the beautiful ikat patterns often seen in the bazaars of Marrakesh and Istanbul. Adds flavor to a traditional or transitional space with rugs, pillows, or wall art crafted in the spicy palette. Any question? So, what color wall would you put with that? Look at your wall charts. I mean your paint charts. I like classic cherry on the first page. Right there. But you see this little chocolate brown in here? You can't see that. Mixing a chocolate brown and a cherry. Now, when I say that, if I were going to really pick those colors and put them in the room, they might be a slightly different shade. That's just the shade we have on here. We know there's as many thousands of shades of those colors. But doing one wall in one of those, again, a bazaar, exotic, Spice Market, you would think maybe you'd have more than one color of walls. Might have an accent color. What would you use, Kelsey?
I was thinking possibly Lamore, but I don't know if that's
What is it?
on the right hand side on the top. It's kind of a beige color.
Do you have the same one I have? You do not. Okay, classic. Let me see. We ran out of progressives. Okay, Lamore.
Too plain.
Well, that would give so she's talking about the very subtle almond flavor. And actually what I would like with that, Kelsey, would be to mix the brown with it. So very much spice and vanilla. Vanilla and what spice is that color? Clove. It's a little bit light for clove. Nutmeg. Nutmeg and vanilla. It's good we're almost to dessert. Okay.
Progressive ones, what do you think about the cashew crunch?
Oh, the cashew.
That's the one I would probably put, the within your accent as being your cherry.
Oh yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And again, the more intensity you put on the walls, the less intensity your furniture is going to have. You need pockets of intensity. Well, I had more to show you, but I'm glad that we filled up the time. But I want to stop right now. We're ready for dessert, and I want to just ask if there's any questions you have or anything that's been brought up, or in a future session, what you'd like to talk more about. If you'd like it to be more interactive, spend more time with you working on a project, would you be interested in doing that?
Project would be good.
Yeah? So maybe if you come back next month, we'll do what I hoped we could do this time. We'll go find rugs to go with these. Maybe work in pairs, individual, however you want to do. Bring a rug over, get your paint chart out, and each of you will make a little room setting. And tell us, if you can, why it appeals to you. It might be a memory. It might be a dream. Dreams pull us into the future. Memories connect us with our past. And so, yeah, thank you. Any other suggestions? Somebody could say we could have dessert earlier. Okay. All right.
Could we share photographs of our space?
Oh, please, please. You want to go get the dessert cart? Devon will help you with it. Yes, if you would email me, and you can grab one of my cards here, I can give it to you. It's Mr. Furn, short for furniture, MRFURN at MSN.com. If you would email me any pictures that you would want to include, if you would want help, if you would be so honest to say, I would like suggestions, I would like help, because it's really interesting when customers come in, because some customers don't want help. And I think there's a time, I think it's a, it's very human to accept help. I don't know what it is when you can't accept help. But to ask for somebody to give you a perspective, whether you use it or not, doesn't matter. But just say, yeah. Just like some of the paint colors here that were suggested. You know, it's very helpful in coming up with a conclusion to how you do your room. Any other suggestions? Well, thank you so much, and we are ready for coffee and dessert. It just rolled in on schedule. And again, if you would rather have water with it, oh dear, I had a card stuck up there of what the desserts were. We have one that has dates in it. So just come on up, gather around, don't be bashful, because if you are, if you're too bashful, I'll have to eat them all. I'm going to get the cards so I can describe what they are, but just get some coffee, the water's right here behind me, and grab a dessert.
Do you want us to leave these color charts for you?
Actually, you can do that either way. They came from Rocking Our Hardware, and I could get more, but if you want to use it for yourself, that's fine. Good. What do you think of those? Those are the ones you got me. Did you know that? Okay, why did I come up here? Okay, what we have are brown butter date muffins. Those are obviously these. And we have raspberry coffee cake. And we have Queen Amman and cheese Danish. So this is the cheese Danish, and this must be Queen Amman.
With almond in it, right? Or not? Or
I have no idea what's in them.
it looks like a fruit.
Well, if you give me just a second.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
It's off of, some,
What was this here?
That's called Queen Amman, and it's spelled like K-O-U-I-G-N. I should have asked him what. I think it's French.
Ramsey's right.
Those are the cheese Danish, I believe, right?
I want the red. This is the raspberry.
Yeah, raspberry.
so you're up at the top of the hill? Or?
Not at the top, but yeah, over that.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
Our backyard's back up.
Let's see. Wait a minute, let me lay this down.
May I hold that?
Don't need it.
I won't.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
You picked a sofa that's the same color as your sweater.
Windsor West.
Well, it's close, I guess.
It coordinates very nicely.
What we've got, it's a family room, and this is going to be the sofa.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked him out of Flex Steel, the reclining chair.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the house was already, the trim in the house was painted already
Okay.
when we bought it.
Uh-huh.
And literally, it's that color.
Mm-hmm.
They call it a beige,
They
but
call it a beige, but it
more of a
looks
gray.
and it's whenever the sun hits it in a different, or if it's in a shady part of a room or whatever.
it takes on a different color.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. And then, it has a chair rail in the room
Okay.
that is that color.
Uh-huh.
And above the chair rail is going to be this color.
You want these chairs to go with it too? Look how they go with it.
I've been out 1 year.
Don't have that much room. It's got a corner fireplace.
It
It's
could
got
be
French
a pillow. It
doors.
could be a pillow, but it's interesting how the tan comes between the brown and this. And so in my first, what was your question?
Well, I really got what you were talking about as far as pillows were concerned. I need to go with something that's going to have the either geometric or the, what did you call the,
All over pattern.
yeah.
So this is an all over pattern, right?
But my question is hardwood floors,
Okay.
but I would like to put a rug down.
Yep.
What would you suggest for a rug?
Well, what I would suggest is you come in, have a half-hour appointment with me sometime when I can look at these in before you come and come up with the best selection. Now, people come and look at our rugs in our store. We have 100 rugs in the store, but in our books we have 10,000. So we almost always sell the rugs from the book because the ones on the floor are the things people didn't buy.
Yes.
And so I would if you keep your pillows in a geometric, then the rug would be an all-over pattern. And if you do a geometric in your pillows, then you'll have an all-over pattern. I mean the opposite. If you do a geometric in the rug, then you'll do an all-over pattern. So
Since these two are solid, we need
now, have you
to-
picked pillows for this already?
No,
Okay.
we did not. I wanted to get them and
And I like the color of woodwork. I like that color. If there were any color in here that I would ever change, it would probably be the color above the chair rail. I like that the least of the combination.
would you go brighter?
And his cookies are good too.
It would depend on the rug. I would wait until we pick the rug, because if we pick the rug first, then we're going to have a lot more, we can get a more interesting rug, and we'll have a lot more room to move with that color. So you can get any color of paint, but to get a rug that works well with the leather and works well with that nice flat woven fabric, and then, you know, maybe this might come out, it might work. We might find the rug that makes it all work. But pick the pillows. Yeah, I hope so.
When he
I
says
hope so.
thousands of rugs.
But it's not uncommon, and you know, for people to look at this. Look how it matches what she's wearing.
Look at how long we looked for the rug for my dining room. Remember we wanted one with the turquoise or teal in?
It's a beautiful rug.
on
Yeah, we'll have to
forever.
show your pictures. Show some of your pictures from your home. Oh wow, that was good pastry.
Yeah,